So, calorie counting is not better than Slimming World. Now, a lot of people are going to say, what do you mean? Calorie counting is so much better than Slimming World. It has so much better outcomes and you know what you're eating and you can fit in things and it's flexible. But that's just because they don't understand the repercussions and also the reasons why people fail on their diet. And also as well, it's something that they have no other option for, so they tend to protect it a lot. Now, what I'm going to talk about in this video is something that people don't consider. So follow along, feel free to comment below, feel free to disagree if you don't agree with me. But for now, let's get into the video. So over the last few years, the fitness world has come against the diet industry, and basically things like Slimming World, Weight Watchers, Herbalife, Juice Plus, and various diets like the keto diet, intermittent fasting, have been kind of put down and said that, no, like these are terrible ways of eating. Why don't you just count calories instead? And you can be flexible with your eating and then get better results. You know exactly what you're eating and you can control it more. So that's what the fitness industry has come against the diet industry with. The problem with this, the problem with calorie counting is that yes, it's more precise and it gives you more flexibility in control, but this tends to be an illusion of control because what you're actually doing is disempowering yourself, putting the control over to the numbers. So not listening to yourself, but listening to numbers, but also not listening to your body's signals either. Now, also, it requires a high level of precision and thinking with the counting and the weighing of food. This is a huge factor in why a lot of people fail as well. So let me talk about these things. Before I go any further, calories count. So of course they count, but you do not need to count calories to get results. In actual fact, you get better results when you don't count calories. So let me know in the comments what you think about that. So the psychology behind calorie counting and also points counting from Weight Watchers and Slimming World is very important to understand. So basically, the more precision and control that you feel you need, the further you fall. So this breeds the perfectionism mindset, which leads into black and white thinking. So it creates this thing of when I'm perfect and when I can do it, I will be totally on the diet. And when I'm not, I don't know anything in between and I'm off the diet. So that's what I mean by the precision and control. So the greater feeling for the need to be precise creates this unrealistic expectation to meet, where when you do encounter things in day-to-day life that doesn't allow you to meet that, you have this feeling, this black and white feeling of, I can't do it now, and so I won't do it. And what do you know? The off the diet bit. So you go on and off the diet. So let's explain this now with an analogy. This will make it make sense. So this is an analogy I really like. It's called the plank analogy. So let's say I place on the ground a plank of wood. So this plank of wood is about 2 meters long and about 30 centimeters wide. So you can stand in this plank. And I say to you, your task is to walk along this plank. What's the chance that you can do that? And you'll probably laugh and say, it's pretty easy. I just stand on it and walk across. So what happens when you actually do this? So first of all, your focus is on the other side. You see the end of the plank. And so what you do, you walk along it and you get to the other side, focusing on where you want to go. Perfect. Now, let's say I take this plank and raise it up 100 meters in the air between two buildings. It's exactly the same plank and I give you exactly the same task. Now, what happens when I give you that task? Where is your mind? Where is your focus? So it's exactly the same thing. All you need to do is walk across it. Now, because we have raised the need for precision and control by raising it in the air, your focus is different. So you stand on one side and your focus is no longer about where you want to go. It's about what could go wrong. So your focus is, how do I do this? What happens if I wobble? What happens if I fall? This is really dangerous. I don't want to risk this. And all these feelings of the what ifs. So your focus has gone away from where you want to go and you've stopped moving. It's paralyzed you. And you focus on all these away from things that you don't want to happen. So not only are you not focused on moving forward and doing the task in hand, but you create a lot of stress and overwhelm unnecessarily through, if we think about the calorie counting and the points counting, through the thinking about the numbers. So have I done this? What is this? Have I weighed this food right? What am I going to do in this situation? What if someone gives me some food? How am I going to fit this into my day? And all the thinking and the stress and overwhelm that wouldn't be there if you were not counting to precise levels. So you can relate to this if you have off days from your diet. Those days are freer from the thinking because you're not thinking about how the day is going to go, how you're going to fit stuff into the day, and how you're going to count it, and if you know what's in the food or you don't know what's in the food. So I like this plank analogy because it shows that when the plank is on the ground, this is when you're not counting to precise levels. It's an easy task to do. You focus and you do it. You just do it. When the precision levels are raised, just like the plank, then you're focusing on what can go wrong. And we also get more of what we focus on. So if you're thinking about, I shouldn't do this, I shouldn't think about the chocolate, I shouldn't think about falling, what do? You're aiming for those things, and so they're more likely to happen. You're more likely to fall off. So yeah, the stress and overwhelm that you've created by this need for precision and control, this excessive need for precision and control, how do you release this? How have you accidentally learned to release stress? Through food. So it gives you cravings. And this is what often for people leads to binges. So when I used to binge eat, there was this background level of stress and overwhelm that sometimes you're not even aware of. So counting the numbers all the time, thinking about food all the time. How many calories are in this food? Have I weighed it properly? Oh, the batteries in my scale have run out. How do I know what's in this food? Can I even eat it? Or making a meal for several people. How do I know how many calories are in my portion? Am I getting enough? Am I getting too much? Then what does that mean about the other calories in the day? What do I eat? How do I eat? And because I don't know what's in the food, does that mean that I should just eat anything today and just start again tomorrow? And also because it teaches you not to listen to your body anymore. It disconnects you from the signals. And I could eat huge amounts of food without actually feeling full. And so going to restaurants where I didn't know what was in the food, I could just eat and eat and eat. I'd give myself a day off. And I wouldn't be really enjoying the food because I'd eat so much, but it was that short-term pleasure. And I just feel not full, not satisfied. And there were situations where friends left the restaurant because I was still eating. These were like all-you-can-eat restaurants. And I eat so many plates of food. And then I thought about it, did I actually enjoy that? Did I have to eat that much to actually enjoy that food? And no, and it's just all these thoughts and feelings that come with this stress and overwhelm. Again, sometimes it's background stress. You don't even really consciously know it until you start eating or have these days where you allow yourself, let's say, a cheat day or a day where you don't know what's in the food, how many calories in that food. You end up with this, again, black and white thinking of, I don't know what's in the food, so I may as well just have all of it and not count it for this day or this meal. And so the consistency with this is not going to be great, is it? And you don't know really how to think about food. That's the point. So it's very important to bring this level of precision right back and make it simpler, like when the plank was on the ground. And the question for most people is, how do I do that? But also, if I am less precise, will I get as good results? And that's a very important question to ask and a very good question to ask. So you can absolutely get great results by bringing it away from the precision. What I do with clients is visual portion sizes. So we use our eyes and our hands to know what's on our plate. And this takes it away from counting and weighing. You can also do it in all situations. And the results you get are not only great, but they're also consistent because you can do it in all situations. So that's it. Calorie counting is not great for long-term weight loss. It's no better than Slimming World. And yeah, like some people, you will see results because they'll do a 12-week body online transformation program. But you have to ask, like, what happened to this person afterwards? Were they just following this plan with their willpower? And what happened when they went off in life? How did they deal with this? Could they follow it? You have to ask these important questions. So be aware of this. And like I said, do you agree with me? Let me know in the comments. This is my opinion from what I have done with clients and studied the psychology around it and how people end up binging. Also from myself as well. So I'd be interested in hearing your opinion. But for now, that is it. If you'd like to send me a message, I have my Instagram and Facebook links below. For now, if you enjoyed this video, give me a like and subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next one.